Okay, y'all, welcome to the channel. So we are just going to discuss today a little bit about why we decided to elope. We just eloped back in July. Our family was kind of expecting us to go in a different direction, and we were too in the beginning, but we decided to just cancel all of that and just elope, just Kendall and I and our photographer, and we just going to explain to y'all why we made that decision.
So listen, so basically, to give a little backdrop, we have been trying to plan a wedding for about a year.
He proposed to me December 2021.
And so we started to plan. I kind of knew 2023 was like where I was at with everything. And it take about a year or some change to start planning a wedding. And so we started to plan a wedding, and I've never been a fan of weddings. I didn't like them. I don't like them. I think they are very superficial, and just really, once you start planning weddings, I think it becomes more about the day than the actual marriage, so to speak. For me, just to define marriage, I define marriage probably a little bit, not a little bit different, but I look at it more as a covenant between two people, two individuals who decide to mesh their lives together, become one person. It's really not, it's just me. It's really not about everybody else. And so I kind of always had that little mindset. Plus, I've been married before, and it was a very stressful time to plan a wedding. So I just kept remembering that, and I just didn't want to experience that again. But I was willing to do it for Brittany because it was her first marriage. And she's a princess. She likes to do princess things and be like that. So I was all with it. I think during that process, it just became so stressful. A lot of people don't know. It became like a stressful time. We was kind of arguing about
very bitter.
Arguing about who's gonna be in the wedding, colors, where was gonna be at, who was gonna be invited, the guest list, the food, just
it was a
the
mess.
whole. Y'all know. Anybody who been married or have been involved in weddings or whatever, how it's never fun.
Well, during this process, I've learned that even though we didn't plan a wedding at all, well, we initially tried to, but even though we didn't, I can see how that can kind of mess up relationships, because you planning this wedding for a whole year, and that's your main focus. Main focus is this wedding, and I know we're not the only ones who was arguing, trying to plan a wedding. So
because not only did we kind of have a little discord, but even our families was like, when is it gonna happen?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be in this? So it was kind of
pressure too.
It's just the pressure to deliver, and then a lot of times, when people think you are kind of well off, so to speak, they put this expectation that you are about to have this magnitude of all for all to come enjoy and to come to be a part of. And I'm not like that. It doesn't really matter to me, any of that. I really didn't. It wasn't something I was looking forward to. I just definitely wasn't looking forward to paying for it. So, and if you know me, I kind of keep. I'm cautious on how I spend my money. But I just didn't. I wasn't looking forward to it. I was gonna do it. I was gonna do it. I had it all tucked to the side. I already knew how I was gonna spend. I had a pretty nice budget for a nice wedding, and I was just only reason I was doing it.
Tell the people what was the budget.
Like $50,000 to $60,000.
For a few hours.
For a few hours, I had it. That was cool. I was gonna do it because I just wanted to be her. I just wanted her to have her special day. And I kind of felt that I was feeling the pressure to do that for her. But I know her, and she really is about me, so to speak. But no, on a serious note, like it was something I was going to do for her. But it just became so stressful, man.
It wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy, and anytime we talk about it, I avoided talking about it.
Yeah, he really did.
Like, I don't care. Just do what you need to do.
Yeah, and that wasn't fair for me.
And that wasn't fair for her because it just, who want to go into something like that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We changed our date multiple times.
Yeah, we changed our date multiple times. I think the biggest thing, one of the icings on the cake was that we had a venue that, I put the deposit down and everything. The date was set. We was planning on it. Actually, the date was set, but we still was like, I don't know. They're like, well, you got this deposit now. I'm like, we got some point. Like, man, forget the deposit.
It was a healthy deposit.
Luckily, the person who I was renting the hall out from, we had a solid relationship, so I wasn't too concerned about losing the deposit. I would have just moved it to another event, which was a plus. So we kind of was just back and forth with that. But once he called and told me that he ended up, not being able to have he lost his building, lost his lease or whatever, we couldn't even do it there anyway. And I was like, oh, it's a done deal. I was like,
that's a sign.
Sign from the Lord. Thank you, God. It's a done deal. And then even then though, it was still, and Brittany was, she probably admit, she was like in limbo a little bit for that time for a couple months because we didn't have nothing planned.
Oh yeah,
we didn't have no day. We didn't have no building. Yeah. And I was just like in my own mind, like I'm not about to do this at all. Yeah. And my mind was like, I want to, just do it with us,
Yeah.
And so like that's what was in my mind, but I didn't tell her that until like 3 days before, which I knew she was ready for it.
But I have mentioned that before in the past, anyways.
Right.
And the thing with Kendall is he want to make sure I'm good all the time. He want to make sure I'm happy. He want to make sure I don't have no regrets, which I understand. But I had told him in the beginning that I wouldn't mind eloping after I discovered that it was stressful trying to plan a whole wedding.
So that's the backstory. So one of the reasons, and then we'll just go into why we decided to
do it the way that we did it.
For us, I know us. Me and Britt been together for 10 years. We kind of been rocking for a long, long time. So we are the type of people that really just don't plan stuff.
Never have.
We just do stuff. We just go. We travel. We just
and it's always
don't nobody
us.
really be knowing what's going on until we post it or to they say, hey, Kendall, where you at? Oh yeah, I'm in Mexico. And you're like, why? How you do that? So that's just kind of always that's who we are. That's who we are as a couple, as a relationship, as a unit. And so I just felt it was just right for us to do a spontaneous thing. And even then, I think Brittany kind of she always said like she thought that we was going to get married by me just waking up one day. And
I always said it.
She always said it years before. And so, that's how I'm just like that. And it's, it's a gift and a curse, but that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I've learned to embrace myself, and she's like how I am. We're kind of running the same. So I knew it'll work. So, why we decided. So those reasons, the number one reason for one is just the investment. I think, kind of long term and financially is kind of where I'm at with how I move money around and do different stuff financially. And so, I don't want to say it's the number one reason, but it's one of the main reasons why, as I'm looking, as we're talking about the expenses, it's like, what could we do with this money? What else could we do? What else could we do with this?
Because if you think about it, all of that money is literally going towards decorations, food for other people, drinks for other people, everything for other people. Literally a very, very small amount that's going towards us. You know what I mean? So that was another thing too. And then we had like a large guest list
We had like 300.
We had like 300 guests
300 guests
on our guest list, and
$50 a plate, $40 a plate.
Exactly.
So y'all do the math. And I don't want to sound like we just talking about money. And
well,
it wasn't
just about that,
yeah.
but that is a key factor too, though.
It was a key factor, and it's like
we were willing to spend it, but it's
we was willing to spend it, but it's like
let's be
for
smart.
people to come to an event and be like, I don't even like this food.
Exactly.
This is not nice, and this you know how people is. Y'all been to weddings and y'all have seen it, and y'all have done it. It's not a secret, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So most people who have done the whole major wedding thing, most likely they think back on the name for like, dang, man.
Most brides I talk to are always so relieved that it's over.
Yeah. So
you can't really enjoy the day because it's like, oh, I'm just so happy it's over. Like,
right. It became a job. It was becoming a job and something that it's like
going into marriage. You don't want to go into it like that, anyways.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Right. That leads me to say, my personal belief, I think marriage should be selfish. Even though I know that you are really, you're not only joining a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, however y'all live your life, but you are joining two families together as well. So a lot of that was kind of really my kind of like my hang up, where I was kind of hanging on like, dang, I do want to have a designated event where, it's actually joining our families together. So that was one of the reasons why maybe I didn't want to do it. But at the end of the day, marriage is selfish between two people, and it's between, and it's, you got to live with this person for the rest of your life. So you really have to, when stuff get rocky, it's really about you two and how you're going to respond to all the stuff that can happen when you decide to join forces. So doing that together, I knew that moment, those times, that experience of us and a photographer and somebody who's going to marry us was going to be just really about us. We didn't have to look good for nobody. We didn't have to take pictures. We didn't have to do a lot of hugs, a lot of handshakes, a lot of drinking, a lot of just, taking pictures and riding around and doing all that. It was really, it really was just about us.
It really made it just about us, and it was perfect.
And it was absolutely perfect.
It was.
Because we just did what we did, and we woke up like, hey, we got to go we got to get married. And I helped her get dressed. She helped me get dressed. It wasn't about me trying to have a lot of groomsmen and her trying to deal with a lot of bridesmaids and how we gonna orchestrate this and all that. It wasn't no rehearsal, none of that. So that relieved both of us.
Yes,
it relieved her from the pressure of planning, because I wasn't definitely planning, but it relieved me from paying for it, because it's like, okay, now we got now that same amount of money is still there.
We have,
and it's going to be placed in another somewhere where it's going to really multiply. So, so that's the reason. What was the reasons for you?
Well, for me, when I was planning, like I said earlier, when I started planning, it was just becoming too much, and I was just realizing that it's for everybody else. And I don't do well under stress at all. And just with all the decisions that we have to make, small things, even if we was to hire a wedding planner, small things, they have to figure out who's going to be the bridesmaids, who's going to do the wedding, who's going to coordinate it, cake, and just all of this unnecessary stuff. Before when we got engaged, I actually went and picked out a dress, and I was so happy, and I wanted to wear it, and like that was my main thing, like, oh, my dress. And I didn't even get married in that dress, and I did not even care. So for me, it was just more so simple. Like I like simple things. I learned that about myself in this process. I thought I wanted the big fairy tale wedding, the big the big thing. I thought I wanted that, but
already see. I know, really. I've watched her. I've seen her. I'm 13 years older than her, so I've seen her development. So I already kind of knew that she would do better in a simple environment.
Yeah.
I knew the pressure of trying to coordinate stuff, plan stuff, handle that. Like
Not my strong
that really is not her. It's not really her thing. She can do it if she needs to, but it's not her thing. It doesn't bring out the best in her. Simple things where it's just free and flowy, and there's not really a lot going on. That's her. That's
another thing that was kind of steering us away was because, well, not steering us away, but we just also have to think about family, like our parents. And it's like, okay, do we tell our parents? Do we tell our kids? Like, how do we do that?
Just call my daughter. Both of my older kids, our kids. Just because we both felt like let's let the kids
let them know at least.
And like she said, that our parents, yes, we
have
siblings and all that. But once you start getting into, anytime we start, and this even when planning a wedding, anytime we start to try to include somebody, we're like, okay, well, we got to include this person. We got to do this. And that's when it started going. So it was like we made the decision, like, we got to fly them out. We got to do this. Well, how are we going to fly them out and not fly them out?
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, it's just really the same type of, the same stressors was over planned over and over again until we made a decision that it's just about us. It's just about us. This moment, this time, this next journey is about us. It's about us. And it's not a knock or a hurt or whatever towards anybody else. It's just about us and what we wanted to, what we wanted to do. And so that was one of the things that we had to overcome. So that's what I'm trying to say. You had to overcome that fear of, man, somebody gonna be hurt.
We're gonna upset
some
people.
Some people gonna be upset.
You told me what, 3 days before?
Yeah, I told her Tuesday.
Was it Tuesday?
It wasn't
Wednesday. It was Wednesday. You told me Wednesday.
I told her
we went
Wednesday.
Thursday, and we got on the plane Friday.
So I told her Wednesday. We went shopping for
I had to get a
dress. I got me a tux Thursday. Caught a plane on Friday.
Went out Friday.
Had a blast. Did what we do, and woke up Saturday. We got married. And it was amazing. We do got a video that's going to be coming out showing that whole experience. It was one of the best decisions that I made in my life.
Yeah.
As far as that, like literally, and I've made a lot of decisions, but this decision to get married the way that we got married was by far one of the best decisions.
We just hope we inspire some people to just do it. Like social media is pressure. And when you're looking at social media and you're trying to plan a wedding, everyone's thinking about, how can I do it bigger? How can I do it better? Just everybody's just on big and extravagant. And it don't have to be that when it's just about y'all too. So we hope we inspire some people to just go out and just go.
Yeah, I know people right now who probably want to get married, but they can't get to the point of setting the date and doing all that because they're thinking about this wedding and how we need to do it and all this. Like, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's really a decision, a covenant that you make between you and your partner. It's not about your mama. It's not about your daddy. It's not about the lad. It ain't even about your doggone kids. Because kids grow up and go away.
And start their own life. So it's really just about how you guys, who are you? So my last piece of suggestion is, when you decide, when you're going through that and you want to, you say you're going to get married, do it the way that you want to do it. Do it the way that reflects who you guys are as a unit, as a couple, as individuals. You know what I mean? Because that's really what it is. And so, can't nobody really take that away from us because that's just who we is. So we don't always be that way. Yeah. And
we're not about to stop and try to appease other people.
Yeah.
It's just that it never works. And nobody really cares. To be honest,
not really.
If you want to be honest, nobody really cares.
Not really.
So hopefully that helped and we explained it a little bit more. subscribe to our channel. If you want to hear more content from us, like it, share it. Hopefully you guys was inspired by this, and
Right.